So there's a clip that I saw of this dumb lady talking about gas, and she's talking about how it's not really that bad. Why y'all complaining? It's going to get worse, actually. And y'all should be okay with it. Because it's just the way it is.
Out of touch.
Isn't it amazing?
Very out of touch, these people.
So here's a dumb lady talking about gas. Watch this.
How high do you think oil prices can get at the pump?
Listen, there's a lot of uncertainty about it. They're not as high in real terms as they were earlier in this century, and it's conceivable that they could move higher.
Amazing.
Conceivable that they could move higher. And then she said, they're not as high as they were earlier this century?
Yeah, what does that even mean?
Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about now.
It's amazing.
Those people are dead that you're talking about, I suppose.
It's so amazing. And the reason why I think it's so wild is because, people are like, oh, well, maybe it's a conspiracy. I don't, like the caller earlier, I don't think there is really a food shortage. I don't think there is this and that. Well, when are you going to see that it's affecting us in a way and we should, say something or see what's going on and notice that there's distractions that's happening. So Newsom, I wanted to pull up this one too, because Newsom is giving out welfare checks for gas in LA. And it's amazing. Watch this one.
Let me see here. Okay.
So today we're announcing a $9 billion tax refund.
Governor Gavin Newsom's proposal to offset the astronomical rise in California gas prices, a $9 billion tax refund that would benefit virtually every Californian with a registered vehicle. The governor's plan would provide a $400 direct payment in the form of a debit card to every resident with a DMV registered vehicle, with a plan capped at 2 vehicles or $800 per person. Electric vehicles included.
That direct relief will address the issue that we all are struggling to address, and that's the issue of gas prices.
Amazing.
Paying off the people.
What an idiot. This is like Satan himself. Looking like American Psycho. Just an idiot. And it's just like what Democrats will do, make you dependent on them. They don't fix the problem.
Yeah.
They just say, oh, we'll give you some money.
Yeah, that is the main issue, because if that does happen and they send me $400, I'm going to accept that money. But it is unfortunate, and you do make a good point, because a problem arose, and then their solution, we'll give people money. And again, people will be reliant on these checks, and it's just reckless. It's reckless what they're doing. Instead of trying to solve the problem, they come up with all these temporary solutions. They're curing the symptoms instead of curing the disease. I will take the money, but again, this is not a long-term solution.
Yeah, it's amazing that I just saw that and I was like, wow, this guy loves the control. He loves to have that thumb on, I even saw that Fauci or someone said that they're thinking about bringing the mask stuff back.
Yes.
Bringing the mandates back and all this stuff. And it's just, all of it is just, it's all the same thing. It's all we are going to, just be over you.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, when we've given them very little pushback, so they have no real reason to let up in any meaningful way. I really hope that there's no new mask mandates or anything like that. It's unfortunate that that's always an option now. Like for them, like anything weird happens, like, oh, better do the mask, do the mask thing again or something like that. Or it's mask season, guys. You know, like when they talk about flu season, and it's like, oh, make sure to get the flu vaccine.
Right.
Like, oh, it's flu season. That means it's mask season.
Yeah.
I hope I'm not like willing that into reality just by saying that, but I'm sure they've already thought of these things.
Yeah, and it's also interesting because throwing the money at the problem also is like, you know, it's like, is there also like a idea to start to try to collapse the dollar? Like, are we trying to weaken? Are we trying to just like, you know, there's also that whole like concept of like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And yeah, as far as that goes, I mean, this is sort of what I'm talking about when I said they're very reckless, because I really can't see. I do try to see it from their perspective to try to get a sense of reality. Like, but I really can't make heads or tails of why they're doing some of the things that they're doing. It's just not making any sense. As far as like what's going on with Russia, Russia is now doing, you know, business deals with China and India.
Yep.
And again, that signals to other people that, you know, America is sort of going down, not collapsing or anything like that, but we're just kind of going down in the chain versus where we were solely at the top. Now it's sort of like a three-way tie between us, China, and Russia. And like I said, I just can't make heads or tails of why they want to act like this. All I can see now is that they're just acting very reckless. Like they're sort of throwing a temper tantrum, I guess. That's really all I can make out of it. I don't see any kind of long-term plan on their part or anything like that. I can't make sense of it.
Right. And the reason why I'm bringing all of that up with the food shortage thing, with the gas, with the money, and what you just brought up about Russia now doing the oil stuff with China and, you know, all this stuff and the money and all this stuff. Because, yeah, it's like China's buying up American farm like land.
Yeah, a lot of property in America.
They're doing this stuff now with Russia. The all this cryptocurrency feels like it's Chinese. I don't know. It's all like confusing. And yeah, this little Al Jazeera picture where it's saying, yeah, right here on Al Jazeera, China's rise and America's decline spell conflict. It's just, you know, it's just bizarre to see kind of, you know, and then so many people in America just being fine with it and, well, we just got to be okay with it. It's for the greater good. It's for the greater cause. Meanwhile, all these things are happening.
Yeah.
All these other moves are happening and all this stuff, and we crying for Ukraine or whatever it is.
Right. Yeah.
And you know, well, I got a few more things on that too, especially about what Jesse says about, you know, we're sending people to the Ukraine border, but we're not protecting our own border.
Yeah.
And, you know, so we got some more stuff